Greetings to all my tech heads out there in the KevTechify nation, and if you're new here, welcome. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the IPv4 packet. We'll be discussing the IPv4 packet header and the IPv4 packet header fields. This episode is part of my series on Introduction to Networks for the Cisco Certified Network Associate, also known as the CCNA. I'm Kevin, here at KevTechify. Let's get this adventure started. IPv4 is the communication protocol at the network layer that's primarily used anywhere. IPv6 is slowly coming up, but if you're running any type of network in today's world, most likely it's going to be IPv4. Now, in the network header, it has all sorts of information in that. That's the part before the data. That's the part before the segment that was passed down from layer 4. It ensures that the packet is sent in the right direction. We want to make sure that it's headed towards its destination all the time. The IPv4 packet header also contains information for the network layer processing in various fields. In the next slide, we're going to show you what some of these fields are. The information in the header is used by all layer 3 devices that handle the packet. So between source and destination, all layer 3 devices, all router will look at this IPv4 packet header. The IPv4 packet header fields. Here's a diagram, and this is the typical diagram that most people draw out when they describe the packets or the segments or the frames, whatever layer you're at. But this is the IPv4 packet header. Now, if you notice, it's read from left to right, top to bottom. Left to right, it's 4 bytes across, and then the header is 20 bytes long. So there's 5 rows in there. Now, the most important fields out of these two are the source IP address and the destination IP address. Those are the most two important fields to understand. But we'll also talk about a couple of the other fields. Now, the version up here tells us what version we're using. For IPv4 or IPv6, that's what we're talking about. The differentiated services field right here in the second byte, that's used for quality of service, to give one type of traffic more importance on the network than the other, like real-time traffic, voice over IP, streaming video conferences, to make sure those get through your network first. Header checksum right here. It detects corruption in the IPv4 header. So if something changed in this IPv4 packet header, this header checksum will identify it, and if there's an error there, it'll just delete this whole entire IPv4 packet. The protocol field, this identifies the next level protocol, whether it's ICMP, TCP, UDP. It identifies that segment we got from layer 4. And then the source and destination IP address, once again, remember, these are 32 bits here, both of these, which are 4 bytes long, like we talked about in the previous episodes. And those, like I said, are the two most important fields here in this IPv4 packet header. It was my pleasure to provide you with this wonderful episode on IPv4 packet. If you like this episode and you got value out of it, and of course, depending upon what platform you're using, please click that like button, give a 5-star rating, leave a comment. This all helps me bring you more great content. Please take a minute to subscribe to my channel. All of my socials and contact information are on my website, KevTechify.com. There you can find out how to get all these episodes in video and podcast form. In the upper right is my playlist for my series on Introduction to Networks for the CCNA. In the bottom right is one of my favorite videos that I picked just for you. Thank you so much for watching this episode of my series on Introduction to Networks for the CCNA. Once again, I'm Kevin. This is KevTechify. I'll see you next time for another great adventure.